Hello, 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 Diamonds. What's up? What's up? This is Lina Jones, and I'm here with another fabulous interview. I mean, I get to interview all these famous people from near and far. I get to do all that. That's one of the good parts about this job is being able to do that. And right now on the line, I got one of the baddest DJs in Hampton Roads County. You probably heard of him or seen his post somewhere for karaoke. And he does so much more. DJ S2 is on the line, and the DJ is in the house. Say hey, S2.
Hello. Hey, what's happening? How we doing? Yes, good morning.
Good morning, yeah. Okay, TikTok is on board. Hello, people. Okay, so S2, you got a lot going on. You got a whole lot going on. So, as well as, what are you eating? Chips? Because your mic is picking up everything.
Yeah, I hate this. I hate using this computer mic, but we here.
So, but we got you fine. It's good that we can hear you fine. So, people are saying hi. Hello, hi. How are you? How are you? Come on in.
LJDNRadio. What's going on?
Okay. So what I want to know is what's going on with you. I mean, I see your posts. I see you're busy. You're in movies. You're in video. You're in shows. You're just, doing it all. You're just doing it all. So what's up with that? A DJ is supposed to just DJ.
Man, I dream big. I'm a huge dreamer. That's one of the things that I was taught at a very young age, man, was that you could do anything, of course. And I don't mean to sound cliche, but I really took that to heart and just felt like I could do anything. So I have a lot of passions, a lot of ambition, a lot of things that I want to try and do. And it just so happens that I'm actually good at it all. So yeah, DJing is my primarily source of income. So I do that for hire, and but everything else kind of comes along with like things that I thought of or dreamed about being or becoming, like an actor or actually shooting a movie myself. Making music. I'm always going to be passionate about my music because I produce, I write, just different things, man. So I believe I can do it all because that's what I was told. So I got some amazing parents who made me think that I was on top of the world, and I still believe that. Here we are.
You are one of those creative types. You have a creative soul, and most people don't really understand what that means. And for someone like me, people like you and me, and people that are like us, we have a kind of a free spirit somewhat. You can't put us down to a regular 9 to 5 and expect us to stay routine day after day after day, year after year after year, and doing the same thing. We can't do that. Our minds won't let us do it.
Nah, that is correct. It's funny because every single job, like I've never been happier. Like the space I'm in now, that I'm able to kind of, wake up when I want and go to work and make my own schedule and do the things that I'm passionate about. It has me in like a perfect alignment with like who I need to be, because when I had jobs, regular 9 to 5s, I get bored easy. And even though I be in like a management position, I get bored real fast. I start coming to work and doing other things other than my job.
Yes.
And it's just like, and then end up either quitting or getting fired.
Yes.
You do that for years and years and years, and then you realize, you know what? Maybe it's time to just try to do my own.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. That's how it is. That's exactly you. You pinpointed it exactly. And normally, people like us, we have good jobs. It's not like we can't get a good job, because we can get a good job. It's just staying there.
Yeah.
Our spirits don't allow us to stay there after a while. It's like, for me, you work and you get, I think the longest job that I've ever stayed at was 4 years.
Uh-huh.
And that's because the pay was so good. but I was miserable,
Yeah.
I was getting paid good money, and and everybody on the job was happy about the work, but here you are, you're miserable inside.
Yeah.
You're like a caged animal.
Yeah, and I don't even know how to really explain that, other than just, it's like being a fish out of water.
That's right.
You got to find your environment, and then once you find that environment, that's where you'll thrive at and be the most happy you've ever been in your life.
It's like people are, well, I'm speaking for myself. I'm not going to, put you in that category, but people, I know that I could be broke and be happy.
Uh-huh.
Not everybody can do that. I could be broke as long as I'm working towards my dream, knowing that there is a bigger picture for me out there. I'm good. I'm happy. And I have as long as I got a roof over my head, some food in my mouth, and, and I'm able to get some of my bills paid at the end of the month. If I'm broke, I'm okay, because I'm doing what it is that my heart desires.
Well, that's not broke. Then you're not broke. In that case, I mean, according to whose standards, if you're happy and everything's, you got food, you got shelter, your bills are paid, you might not have any tangible income or whatever they call it. But you're not broke.
Yes.
You ain't broke yet because you're happy. The only true way to be rich is to be happy. So.
Mm-hmm.
I get the standard, but if you're happy inside and everything's where it needs to be, then you're rich.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at, and it made it very difficult with me. I always worked before I decided to take on a permanent job. I worked in temporary agencies. I worked as a temp. Showing off my skills. I've always been good with the computer for some reason. And so I was always hired based on that. And I had good jobs, very well paying jobs, But I just wasn't happy there.
Yeah.
I just was not happy there. And I don't know how else to, I really don't know how else to describe it. I wasn't happy. I didn't care to be there. I didn't want to be there. I'd rather be home, working on something on the computer, creating something, designing a website, doing some type of graphic or something that would feed into my creative soul,
Uh-huh.
And it's a lot of job offers that I have gotten, I've had people where companies really didn't want to let me go. They didn't want to let me go. They wanted me to stay around because I was the only one that could fix stuff on the computer.
And people will recognize your talent and your ability, so they're going to want to keep you around because of who you are. Mm-hmm. They don't necessarily know that you're not happy with what you're doing, unless you tell them, of course. But, of course they're going to want to keep you around and keep you there because they recognize the light that you possess and, your abilities and, just the energy you bring to the table. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, that's you display that probably everywhere you go. So people are going to want to keep you around, but don't want to really truly know that you're not happy unless you be like, listen, this ain't working for me, guys.
Yes.
And,
Yes, I've had jobs where I work getting paid $50,000 a year and stuff as a technical analyst and technical analyst too and stuff like that. Worked with big companies and stuff like that, but I was never really fully happy. I was never really fully happy. And I remember one time I told my husband, who is definitely routine. He's Marine, he's Corps, he's routine. You do this. He's the type of man that you graduate from high school, you go to college, you graduate from college, you get you a job, you work at that 9 to 5 until you can't work anymore. You get the house. I mean, he's very routine set. With me, I'm not. not routine set. So it was very difficult for me to tell him that I wanted to quit my $50,000 a year job. It was not an easy thing.
I'm sure. I couldn't imagine as a husband, especially in this day and time, like a wife coming home and saying, "I want to quit my job." You know, because that means I got to pay all the bills.
Yes. That means it's all laying on you. So it wasn't easy. So I went through a trauma there, but that's a whole different story. But what do you have going on? Because I know you have some videos. You have some videos that or films or movies, short movies. I remember one that you made where it was you guys were out in the field, and I'm not sure whether it was a commercial song or whether it was the song, the artist that you had, whether that was his song or something like that. But it was almost like a movie.
All of in my mind, all of my videos or songs that I want to create visuals for have a storyline to them. I mean, I'm a storyteller within my music. Mm-hmm. So whenever I do a visual for a song, I try to portray a picture or give people a vision, you know, that I wanted to go when I wrote and produced the song. So yeah, the one you're talking about is called Modern Day Slave. Mm-hmm. And it's basically talking about some of the stuff that we were just talking about. Being in places like, for instance, having a job and them not seeing your worth or your purpose and, using you and you wanting to be somewhere else, mm-hmm. Staying there makes you a slave to that environment, yes. Because, you don't have the strength or the guts to walk away and chase your dream because you're afraid of what, mm-hmm. Failing, or you're afraid mm-hmm. of what everybody else might say. Mm-hmm. So that particular song is just kind of portraying two guys in modern day corporate world sitting in a meeting mm-hmm. With the CEO of a company who's giving them a promotion, and the promotion is like a 25-cent raise basically. Mm-hmm. And because they get the 25-cent raise, they're getting all this extra responsibility, and now they get a title that goes along with it. But you only literally get 25 cents more an hour, but you have all this extra work to do. So it's kind of like you're picking cotton. It's the modern day version of us picking cotton. Mm-hmm. So we just kind of wanted to take it back to that and show a modern day version of how we're still kind of mentally enslaved in some sort. And it's on YouTube. It's called Modern Day Slave, and it's by Agony and Pat JMF. It's on iTunes. It's on Tidal. It's the song's everywhere. You can stream music. It's even on TikTok. So if your TikTok followers are listening, you can tap in. Just search Modern Day Slave and use it for one of your reels or something. Okay. So you, that's not. Is it your song, or is that the person that you're with? Is it? Well, it's an album that we both, him and I, released earlier this year on April 4th, mm-hmm. Titled Malcolm versus Martin. It's not really a political album, but it's just some awareness, and we're trying to bring some awareness to mostly black culture. Mm-hmm. Now, when I say black culture, everyone's involved in black culture, even white people. So mm-hmm. I'm not excluding whites, Asians, because everybody loves black culture. But what I mean by bringing awareness to black culture is that we have to realize when we get too engrossed in that, where we can go left with it, and we start seeing things for we kind of like start worshiping false gods and not mm-hmm. seeing things for what they really are when we get too engrossed in the culture of things. We start worshiping Jordans, Mercedes, designer, this, that, and the third, and we forget that we are the prize. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. As black folks, like for instance, this little election that just happened in Virginia.
Okay.
Black people are so black this, black that, and I'm not trying to make anybody choose a political party, because I'm not a Republican nor a Democrat. Mm-hmm. But you have a black lady running for governor, and she has the opportunity to be the very first woman governor, in the state of Virginia. Mm-hmm. but because she's a Republican and seems like she sides with MAGA, who, by the way, didn't even endorse her.
I know. He didn't even endorse her.
But because she seems like she sides with MAGA, all the black people are like, nah, bump the black lady. I'm going to go vote for the other candidate who's a white woman. And because she's Democrat and talks the Democratic talk, food stamps, abortion, all this other stuff, black people are, we're going to vote for her and make her the first. Now, mind you, I'm a black man. I do research. I look into all of these things, and I don't vote on a party. I vote for issues. So it's like I would have wanted a black woman to be the first woman governor of a state. If I'm a black person, you know what I'm saying? Like the things that you disagree with as far as the issues, we can work those out once they're in office by conversation and this, that, and the third. But you have to understand, man, we missed an opportunity, and now we're praising and celebrating the fact that this black woman lost. And really and being loud about it. So it's like, when we talk about things of bringing awareness to black culture with this project, like we want to celebrate our women mostly because, y'all are God's greatest creation on earth, the black woman. Y'all are God in the flesh. If there's one that God made to walk, it wasn't a Jesus or a man, it was a black woman. And I believe that. You know what I mean? So we just want to not worship, but we want to make sure that we're treating all of our women properly and giving them the flowers that they need to be happy and to be, to feel good about the skin they're in. Then we want to, raise our kids properly. We want to make sure that they have the knowledge, the nourishment that they need to be able to become, warriors if they're sons and princesses if they're daughters. We want to make sure that they have everything they need and they believe that they're that. I want my daughter to believe she's a princess. I want my son to believe he's a warrior. And not only my daughter's sons, but the ones in my neighborhood, the ones in the neighborhood next door, the ones that I see out and about. You know what I'm saying? So we, as a people, have to start doing more together, building our communities and becoming strong again like we were in the 20s, 30s, and 40s, 19, I'm talking about, like right after slavery, when we had all that money and we had Black Wall Street and we had, we got to get back to that. And that's the only way that we can really, get out of poverty and, is to start doing more together and using our funds and things that we do have. So that's really what that album was really about. Just kind of, wanting to bring that awareness to our people, to our culture,
So I understand the awareness, bringing the awareness and wanting to support our own people, but also at the same time, people are getting sick and tired of putting politicians in place that are not looking out for us. And this woman has some serious issues, and I personally don't think I would have put her back in office. And that has nothing to do with her color. It has to do with the issues that are affecting us. If you can't get a black person to do it, then get a white person to do it right. I'm not saying Abigail is the best one, and I'm like you. I'm not Democratic or Republican, but for the sake of my mom, as long as she's living on this earth, she told me I better vote Democrat. So for the sake of, she said, Republicans ain't never did nothing for no black folks.
Neither is Democrats.
No, they haven't.
If you think about being black in this country, who's ever done anything for us?
Yes.
We've been complaining about the same things for 100 years, and nothing's ever changed.
Yes. Yes. So you just have to pick between the two lesser evils. And this woman that went up for governor, I mean, she was a black woman, and I support my people, but I also have to look at issues that are affecting not only just me, but people around me in my area. People are suffering. They're suffering, and it's only just begun. This is the beginning of hard times, and I had said that earlier in my show after I had prayed. I say a prayer before I go on. The people are suffering. And it's only just the beginning. I mean, I saw a line on well, it could have been AI, because you don't know the difference anymore. But I saw a long line of people waiting to get Thanksgiving handouts because they haven't gotten their food stamps, so they haven't gotten their SNAP or something like that. These are the issues that we're going through today, and the last thing that anybody wants to do is put someone in office that's supporting the man that's doing this to us.
Well, we have to understand that it's not necessarily Trump that's
Yes, it is. He's making all those
it's,
decisions.
it's not. Well, see, the president, and we get so caught up in all the hoopla that we forget how politics work. The president can't wave a wand to do anything without votes from Congress and the Senate and all of that. And then when you think about that, it's Republican and Democrats both making those decisions, not just the president. See, when it happened, when Bush was in office or Clinton or Obama, way back when, we weren't so caught up in all the social media crowd, we could see a little bit more clearer. Now we can't these days because everybody is saying 1,000 different things on social media that sounds okay, and then we hear it and we be like, you know what, you're right, and we're not even thinking logically anymore. A president can't do anything without votes and approval from within, the Congress. So Trump can't sit down and say, I don't want people getting food stamps, and it'll happen. They have to vote on stuff like that. And you got to understand, you got Democrats and Republicans voting for this. Now, mind you, as far as food stamps is concerned, I'm for people getting food stamps that need them. If you absolutely need food stamps, they should be available for you until you get yourself into a position to where you don't need them anymore. The problem is that a lot of people become career, and what I mean by career is they want to do that their entire life for 30, 40. How you on food stamps for 20 years? Mm-hmm. You mean to tell me there's nothing? And remember, just about 20 minutes ago, we were talking about you and I being creators, us having the skill set needed to create the life that we want for ourselves, right? Mm-hmm. So most of us have that, but a lot of us ignore those desires because we're afraid of failure, or we're afraid of what people might say, or we want the free stuff.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, food stamps are good. I mean, I've been on food stamps before. Am I on food stamps now? No, I don't need them. Mm-hmm. I've been on Medicaid before as a child and as an adult. Mm-hmm. But do I need it this day and age? No, because I go out here and I've created a business for myself, and I'm booked and busy, as you mentioned. I'm booked and busy. Mm-hmm. God is providing for me because I'm out here doing the work myself. I wake up ambitious and I put things in motion, and I chase my dreams, mm-hmm. and my prayers are being answered. So all I'm saying with that is it's a lot of people on food stamps that probably won't even need them if they take that idea from out of their head and put it on paper and turn it into a paycheck. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So people are relying on these things just because they're afraid of failure, or they're so used to gimme. Mm-hmm. But and as I mentioned, anybody who needs health care or food stamps should have access to it. Mm-hmm. But if you're like me, you're a grown man who's able and capable of going out here and figuring it out, then do so. Yes. And save that money for somebody who needs it. And people like Trump and the Republican Party, that's their issue with it. It's like, okay, when you have people, like I had a boss at one of the jobs I had that said, man, I was at the store and I seen a person pay for $200 worth of groceries with food stamps, mm-hmm. steak and the whole nine, and then they had a separate transaction where they bought cigarettes and alcohol and pulled out a wad of cash. and these people in the store seeing that, and that's what they're against. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I might not like it because they're talking about my aunt or my cousin or my niece or somebody who's in those shoes, but, it's true. It's a hard truth. And sometimes that hard truth is like, we don't want to hear that, mm-hmm. But it's true. So, but
we have a lot of people out here that has abused the system.
Yeah.
And are still abusing the system because when they got on food stamps 10, 15 years ago, they had that one kid Now they have about 4 or 5 of them, and still on food stamps, and still multiple money. But the thievery is not just in the people; it's in our government too. I mean, look at how much money Trump's family has gotten since he's been in office.
Yeah.
You know, we've made his family rich. Richer.
It's going on everywhere. At the
wealthier.
top, middle, and the bottom. You know what I'm saying? So that we're not the only person abusing the system. I've bought food stamps off people before.
Yes, I have too.
You know? So it's like, I mean, we're not the only ones. They're doing it at the top too. Middle class are doing it, and the people in poverty are doing it. But it's like, you know, you have to find out what works for you. Like we were already talking about, you got to find that theme, that passion of yours, that desire of yours, and you have to turn that into income. And a lot more people are starting to do that with, you know, these content creator with social media. Social media has allowed more people to figure out how to make money. You know, just by posting videos and stuff. So it's like, you know, we're figuring it out. But we're coming along.
It's also creating a very lazy generation of young people. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, you know, getting wealthy, making your money off of your videos or whatever. I'm not opposed to that. What I am opposed to is that young people depending on these videos as a livelihood. They're going out, they're getting cars, they're getting mansions and stuff like that. And then soon as, like, when TikTok had crashed, they were looking for people to support them.
Yeah.
Instead of going out and finding a job, they're so used to this lifestyle that they want you to support them. They become just like the stars. I mean, the stars are wealthy because we made them wealthy. They didn't make themselves wealthy. So we created the wealth for the people just doing the videos and stuff. But once it stopped, these people are not used to working. They're not used to going out and getting a job. They want to sit back and have people support them because that's what they're used to doing. So it's a good thing and it's a bad thing.
Well, like as I mentioned earlier, we have to teach, you know, us as parents. You know, you have children, I have children. You know, your children has children. So it's like, when you're an overseer or a parent or in charge, you have to teach the people below you how to function properly. You know, we got to teach that to our kids. So part of that is the parents' fault because their kids don't know anything other than what they're used to. So, like I said, my kids, I want to teach my daughter her worth. I want to teach her how to go out here and how to change her own oil. So. Or how to change her own tire. So when she's broke down on the road, she don't have to go through her phone calling 100 people. She can just go and get the spare and put it on herself and be on her way. You know what I mean? I want to teach my son, you know, hunting skills. I want to make him ambitious and make him goal oriented and teach him the things that hard work really pays off if you're working for a purpose. Now I know it's cliche to say if you work hard you will succeed, and that's not always true, but if you have a purpose that you're working toward and you work hard toward that purpose, then whatever you're trying to achieve can happen. So I want to put that in my son. So if he does become a content creator and he starts getting these checks and the algorithm crashes or Facebook crashes and you can't log in for a day or a week, you know, he can go out and do other things. He has other skills. The problem is, like, you know, we let these kids stay on these devices all day and just let them sit there and play the game for 5, 6, 7 hours. And then they only coming downstairs to eat or only coming downstairs to use the bathroom and then going back up. You know, so it's our fault.
And then when you're serving them their food by the computer, you know, it's dinner time. Instead of having them put the game down, come down and sit with the family and eat. The moms are bringing the food to the kids, you know, so they can have something to eat while they're playing. The family dynamics will never come together by doing that. That's never going to bring a family together, you know. And if the whole thing crashes, because it's not impossible, and it's not impossible for it to last more than a day or two. I mean, look at the government job. 10 years ago, everyone would bet their money on a government job. You want a job? You want to make sure you get paid all the time? You need a government job. You need to work for the government. You know, I got a good job. I got the government. The government done forgot about its people and haven't put them back to work yet. So then, just like it's where people thought it was impossible for this to happen on a government job, the same thing can happen for the internet, or even worse, the government take over the internet. If the government takes over the internet, a lot of people are going to lose out. And I think that's very important when you see the petitions come through your feed. To read those petitions and to make sure that you sign them or you do what you need to do, because if we all ignore it and think someone else is, let them do it. I'm too busy creating my content, or I'm too busy wanting my video up. And no one signs these petitions to stop the government from taking over the internet. That's what's going to happen, because they want it, and they want it bad. And once they do that, a whole bunch of people are going to be without income. Once that government take over, we can forget it. So it's very important to keep the government off of the internet, off of our social media apps and things like that. Read those petitions as they come in. Sign them petitions that says stop the government from doing this. Send them to other people. Let them know the importance of it. Just like the importance of picking a governor. A lot of black people, I was brought up the same way. If you did vote, you voted for the president. That was it. Nothing else mattered. Kind of touching back on what you said earlier. But it's not the president that just makes the decisions. The decisions is coming from the lower offices, especially what's happening in our state. All those decisions there affect the governor. The governor has the right to make decisions that affect us in our state. So if we don't pick the right governor that's in office, we're screwed. We're screwed because the governor, what's the governor for 4 years? For 2 years, 7 years, one of the two. Because they're the ones that make all of the decisions. They are the ones that make all of the decisions. And that's what we need to realize, is these little elections that we don't go to, those are the ones making the decisions. Those are the ones. Yes, they affect us. They affect us, and we need to understand that, and we need to participate. When it comes to people say, I'm not voting, it ain't going to do nothing. It may seem like it's not going to do something. It may seem like it's not going to do nothing, but it is. It does. Because they have to go by that vote. They have to go by that vote. So if you don't vote, then it gives them carte blanche to do whatever they want to do. So when stuff is cut off and stuff is affected and stuff like that, then you want to sit around and be upset and mad about it, but you didn't go out and make a difference. You have to go out and make a difference. That's the only thing. That and God is going to change the fate of what's going on.
That is true. That's very true. But we also have to understand, as blacks in America, no matter who we vote for, we're never going to completely get 100% of the things that we desire as black people.
Yeah.
And should we? But we have to look at what we're crying about. We're crying about food stamps. We're crying about, things that they're crumbs they're giving us, instead of going out and getting it. Like, where's the hustle? Where's the ambition? Where's the drive? You know what I'm saying? So that's all. Like I said, I'm not against, people that are, like I said, if somebody's in need, they should receive. Our government should provide. If somebody's homeless, there should be nobody sleeping on the side of the street. There should be places for these people to go and have, a bed or a meal. There should be things provided, but that should be temporary until they can get back on their feet. Like when we were young, my mom stayed in the shelter. We lived in the shelter. My mom, it was 4 of us. Before my mom got, in between my dad and her now husband, we lived in the shelter, with people we've never seen before, probably never saw again, but we had 3 meals. We had a space, where we could sleep. Was it the best? It wasn't, but it was temporary until my mom was able to find a job and get us up out of there. And she did that. She found a job, she found a house and, was able to get us up out of the shelter. And now we have our own home. We have our own rooms. We have food. She's going to work every day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like those things are temporary and should be used to help get us back on our, just like the projects. That when the first they first built the projects, it wasn't for people to stay out there for 20, 30 years. It was for you to, to have cheap, affordable housing until you can be able to get on, move around and get on your own. Mm-hmm. So, but I agree. We have to vote. I'm not saying don't vote. Yes, go and vote. But we just have to understand, and I'm just speaking specifically to, to blacks. Mm-hmm. We just have to understand that voting Democrat ain't always just going to be the best option just because they're giving you the things that are free.
Yeah. The Democrats let all those foreigners in. That's the only thing that I have really against the Democrats is they let they let too many of them in. I'm not saying not let people in, but they let too many of them in. I remember one time I was at Burlington, at Burlington Coat Factory. So I'm in line and I got a few things in my cart, not that much. Uh-huh. And I'm checking my bank account and my wallet, making sure that I got enough money to pay for this. Where, right behind me, there's, and in front of me, there's Hispanics, Mexicans, or what are Cubans. I don't know who they were, but I know that they were foreigners. With carts stacked to the top. I'm talking about bedding, clothes, everything. They go there, they pull out that little government card that they give them and swipe it, and everything is paid for. And here I am, a person that work hard, whose husband work hard, in the middle class family, and I'm struggling. I'm counting my pennies. Not saying that it should be reversed. I'm saying it should be equal. It should not be as a working class, because the middle class are the ones that are supporting the wealthy and the poor. We're in the middle, and we're getting sucked up slowly but surely. We're going to have to go one way or another, because the middle class is going to be wiped out at this rate. We're going to either be poor or we're going to be wealthy.
Yeah, and I feel like it's probably going to be the wealthy side of things, because like I said, a lot of us are starting to realize our potential, and a lot of us are starting to become more entrepreneurs. Like there's going to be like 10 or 15 years from now, it's going to be a lot of people that are figuring it out now. In like 2030 or 2040, they're going to be rich, because it's like the information that I know now, if I would have known in my 20s, I'd be rich.
Yes.
But I didn't, I was playing the system and not understanding my potential. All the things that were in my head then are still the things that I dream of now. But the only difference is now is I'm actually putting boots on the ground and applying pressure and making those things happen. As before, I wasn't. I was thinking about college and getting a job and, the American way.
Yes.
Instead of understanding that the American way might not necessarily be for me. But when I say the American way, also entrepreneurship is a part of the American way too, because America is the place where you can come and build wealth, right?
Yes.
So a lot of us have to start seeing that. Like we have some talented people that are sitting around at a job they don't want to be at.
Yes.
That are waking up every day miserable, going to work, and at the same time they're sitting on $1 million idea, and because they don't want to lose their job, or they're afraid that how I'm gonna pay my rent. Like I got fired from my job in 2017. You know what I did after I got fired?
What did you do?
I took all my money out my 401k and went to Vegas. So
to gamble, or just because you wanted to go to Vegas?
Just to go on a trip, clear my mind, and get myself ready for what I was getting ready to do. My girl, she allowed it. She was like, "Okay, when you come back, you got to you be on your shit, because now you have to try this entrepreneur thing, and it's got to work. Ain't no room for error.
And you're the man. You're the man of the household. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to Vegas, and I went to Vegas, Alito, and I came back DJ S2.
Ooh.
And, and here I am since 2017. So that's been, almost 9 years.
You have to make that decision. I know I made that choice because how I made my choice was I've had a business for a very long time. I used to do web designs. I used to do through code, write the code for them before all of this easy stuff came out. And I had a line of clients, that I hosted webs, which I still do today. And every time I always did that on the side, and I always had this full-time job that I had to do, these 8 hours that I had to do. So one day I was just stressed. I didn't want to do. I was in there for 4 years, and yourself, because of your own experience, being on a job for 4 years with an entrepreneurial spirit is not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy thing to do. And I remember when I decided that I was just going to give up on everything because I had gotten part-time jobs. I went and got part-time jobs at Macy's, part-time jobs at Kmart and stuff like that. And, I was actually happy at Kmart. Here I am coming from a corporate environment. I was happy with my minimum wage. You know why? Because I got to work with people. I got to talk with people. When you do the type of work that I do, you're in the office all day or in a NOC, a network operations center. And you don't get a chance to really talk or mingle with people. And me wanting to step out and do this on my own, I knew that I had to deal with people, and I'm somewhat an introvert. It doesn't seem like it, but I am. So that was a hard transition in a thought for me to do, but I made up my mind. I said, look, when I was in my 40s, I said, I had a certain goal that I wanted to get to by the time I was 40. And being a mother and a housewife and working, you just can't, not all the time you can make that. You can get there in the timing that you wanted to get there. So I decided that I was going to take my 40s and I was going to prepare myself. I wanted to prepare myself for working on my own. I didn't want to do the part-time job and work on my own because I felt that every time I did a part-time job, I lost a little bit of my business because when I got home, I was too exhausted to do my business. And it became a choice. Either I work or do the business because I couldn't do both. I couldn't do the business, work, come home, cook, clean, do all the things that I was expected to do as a wife and a mom. So something had to give. So I decided to take my 40s and concentrate. I, went back to college to get my degree, to finish out my degrees, because even though I had the skills, I didn't have the documentation. And people look for documentation. Some people do, some people don't. But it's good to have it, to present it in case someone ever asks. So I decided to go back to school. I said, I'm going to take this time and go back to school. And I took all my certificates and diplomas that I had gotten and accumulated over the years and said, I'm going to take this, I'm going to give this to them, and they're going to put me, they're going to move me in 2 years. I ain't going to have to do 4 years. I'm going to have to just do a year to finish this. Man, none of the stuff I did was accredited.
Oh, wow.
So I had to start from scratch. I had to start all over again. I had to start as a freshman. So that's what I did. I said, okay, I'm going to do this. I was determined to get my bachelor's degree in computer science. So I went from there and I went to get a master's certificate and stuff like that. So I spent most of my 40s just getting myself together to prepare for this, to just go out there and go get on my own. And I did. I did it. I took social media marketing classes. I did what I needed to do to get myself going. And it took a while because that thing about the 5-year plan, that's a joke. When they say if you're not successful in 5 years, give it up. If you're not successful in 5 years, don't give it up. Because it took me a lot more than 5 years to get to where I am today.
Might take you 10, might take you 20.
That's right.
Eventually you'll get there. Like I said, the knowledge that I had in my 20s, I'd be rich by now. By 20 years later, I'm 43 now. So if I had that information way back when, then by 43, I'd be probably sitting on 10 or 15 million. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, like if you have something you believe in, that you can't put a time frame on it. Like, don't let nobody rush your process.
That's right. Don't let nobody rush that process.
It may have took them 5 years, but it might take you 15.
That's right.
But as long as you're progressing, though, then don't be running in place and at the same space, because then you're wasting time. But as long as you're making progress and you're seeing changes every day, keep at it, and you'll get your break. I don't think I've had my break yet, but eventually, if I keep at the rate I'm going, that break will come. Somebody will see me, recognize my talent, and allow me to do what I do on a bigger platform.
I think you've been recognized. What about that thing you did with the baseball? Was it the baseball you was out there in the box? I got candy in my mouth. I shouldn't even have it in my mouth.
No, it's fine. Well, I do a few different things with sports. I'm a PA announcer, and I do live streaming too. So it's like I work for a college. I have a contract with a school, and I do all of their sports. I do their live streams. I do their music, and I do their PA announcing. And I also just got a contract with ODU, Old Dominion Women's Soccer, where I do their PA announcing. So,
that's good. That's good. You have come such a long way from when I met you a few years ago. You have just excelled, and you just constantly keep on growing, and that's a good thing. I mean, it's a positive. I'm always happy to see accomplishments you made, and you're so professional at it. That's one of the things that I do admire about you. You're very professional with everything that you do. You have just the right things, to, like, you have covers for your table, you just make everything look so neat. You and then you come in and you're dressed very professionally. From the very first time that I saw you, and I remember when I hired you for the Halloween party, I was like, who is this character? He coming here with the little, dressed all nice. He got his little tie, his little shirt, and his hat. I'm just like, who do he think he is? But you weren't where you are today, but you carried yourself as such. And most people have to understand that. It depends on how you carry yourself, because I'm a firm believer that you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Correct. I carry that with me wherever I go. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Like, people say, oh, well, I'll do it better next time. See, you're going to come back next time, and that person going to remember when you were there before. Yeah. So this is what they're going to expect from you. And even if they compliment you for doing better, you still blew that chance to make that first impression.
Oh, yeah.
So always, and that's what you do. You come in, first impressions. First impressions mean a lot. And I say this to you because I am an older person, and I am older than you. And this is what I look for. In my business, I look for professionalism. I look for how you talk to me. I look for how you respond to me. And how do you respond to the situation? Because as a DJ, you come into situations that are not together, not on time, not the way. And I'm pretty sure that takes a lot of patience.
I mean, the thing about that is you just have to make sure that you're on go and you're ready when it's time to go. Because as a DJ, you're probably, a lot of people won't give you the credit, but you're probably the most vital piece of any event. Whether it's a wedding, backyard party, or whatever.
Yes.
The music and the vibe is the most important thing. Sometimes it's the least paid for, but but you have to be ready and on go whenever the opportunity presents itself. So you might get there and it's a little unorganized and things are all over the place, but you just have to kind of stay poised, let the event play itself out, and then just play your part, because you have such an important piece to it. You just always have to be ready, because if you're not, If you come in and you're scatterbrained and you're all over the place, you don't know what song to play when and where, then it's going to make the event even worse.
Yes.
So a lot of times as DJs, we can actually save a bad event by being ready.
Mm-hmm.
Being on point. So yeah, like I pride myself on professionalism and always giving the best because every single gig I've ever had, I've always gotten another gig from. Mm-hmm. So if I show up to do a party, I'm gonna make sure I look good, I present well, I got the lighting, the effects, and all the bells and whistles. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna make sure also that I'm playing good music and keeping the dance floor packed.
Yes.
Because somebody's there is gonna know somebody who's doing something down the line. Like a month later, somebody might be getting married, or might be having a birthday, or might just be doing something, and they might need a DJ. So
they might need a DJ. Mm-hmm.
You did well at this one, so I'm going to throw your name over here. So that's how that works. Word of mouth is like the best advertising.
Because I give you word of mouth. When someone asks me about who I use and stuff like that, I said, I use that too. And, a lot of them people who don't know who you are, they'll look them up because they trust me. Because I'm not. I try not to present anything that I do as tacky. And even if it starts coming that way, I'm falling apart in the inside. So I depend a lot on that DJ distracting the people so that they won't know the craziness that's going on behind the scenes. You save a lot of that, and DJs in particular, you guys save a lot of that. You keep the people's mind occupied so that they don't know. If it's madness going on in the background, the people will never know because you got a good DJ.
And like I said, that's why it's so important. It's a lot of pressure, but at the same time, like I said, just being ready when it's time. Being ready when it's go time. You can conceal a lot of the imperfections of a party just by doing your part, which is a very vital part, like playing the music, because people vibe off of that. A certain song might speak to them. Like I had somebody last night, it was her birthday. We're doing karaoke and everything's high, the vibe's high, we're chilling, we're laughing, we're drinking, but somebody sung one song, and that the birthday girl in particular sat and just started bawling, crying. Like, so music has it moves people in certain, because you never know what somebody's going through.
Yes.
So you have to make sure you're playing the right songs. You make sure people are at least tapping their toes, because everybody ain't gonna dance right away.
Yeah.
But if people are tapping their toes and bobbing their heads, and you're going in the right direction, eventually they'll get up and dance. But if you got that going on, and you're in the right space with what you're doing, and eventually, people are going to get up and start moving. After the alcohol kicks in or whatever, after they're just tired of sitting down, they're going to stand up and want to let you know you're doing your thing. Just communication, man, watching body language and, reading the vibe of the room. So as long as you're ready to do that, no matter what's going on outside of the event that people might not know about in the background, if you're on your square, then all that's irrelevant.
That's right. And you do a good job at it. And I'm just going to speak briefly on karaoke before I leave, before I let you go. S2 is a fabulous karaoke person. I mean,
thank you.
You ask him for the song, he'll do it. If it's not there, he'll contact you and let you know. He even compliments you when you get upstage. When you're on stage and you sound really good, he might ask you to sing another song. Now, I say this because he's never asked me to sing another song.
Oh, man.
We ever been to karaoke and someone get up and sing and he just compliments that person and he goes and grabs certain people. You're going to sing. He's never grabbed me after I sang a song.
Really? I don't believe that. That's probably because you ain't never been to none of my shows.
I've been to some of your shows. Well, I mean, I just been to the karaoke thing. I haven't been to a show. But he has certain people that sings very well, that he knows he can put up there and pull the crowd in, because you need to have people up there because it gives others confidence to go up there and sing karaoke. And it's like, once you get your karaoke sea legs on, that's it. That's all you want to do. You want to sing another song?
Yeah, I'll get a little bit better at that. Because I do like I enjoy seeing y'all come out to my show, especially your daughters. They support me a lot. Salute to L and Mahogany. And I always forget the third one name because I don't talk to her much. But
TC.
She's supportive as well, and keeps me in mind for certain projects and gigs and things. So salute to all of your babies, the LJDN family. I love y'all for real.
And we love you too.
Like I said, I really, really like when y'all are out in the building. Y'all come out support, and everything y'all do is amazing.
So thank you. So do you. I mean, we love doing karaoke. They love singing. I put those girls into karaoke because I was a big karaoke fan. I didn't go, but I was into it, but I didn't go to it. And the first time I took Mahogany to a karaoke place, I think she was like 19 or 20. And I took her to a karaoke place. And I say this, because like a lot of people, I was a statistic. I was a pregnant teenager. So I had my kids were relatively young. Basically, I had all my kids before I turned 30. So when she was 19, 20, I wanted to go karaoke, and I was in a place and I didn't know anyone. We had just really got to Virginia, and I really didn't know, anyone. And we went to this place around the corner from where we lived. I think it was the Hot Tuna. I'm not sure, but I think it was there. No, it was that karaoke place in Virginia Beach. You know the one that shut down? The one that just did nothing but karaoke. It shut down because Wannabes.
Heard of that.
Oh, you never heard of that? Wannabes was a very popular karaoke place. I guess about some time ago. It's been closed now since a few years now. But that was the first place that I had took her. I think I took her someplace in Jersey before we moved out here too. But she got a dose of karaoke and she got the bug. But she always loved to sing. She always loved it. I figured she would enjoy that because she likes to sing. So, and since then she's just been going on her own and singing on her own. And she has a voice that I didn't realize she had the voice until she was like 10 years old. And we were on base at a Halloween. They had a Halloween event on base. And I was so busy with my younger daughter, she kind of just went off to do her own thing, with her little friends. And this kid was singing. And everybody was going to see this kid. And I'm like, what is going on? And I go up there to find out. Finally decided to see what was going on. And it was L. It was not L, Mahogany. Mahogany was up there belting her throat out. And I'm like, I didn't even know the girl could sing.
Yeah, Mahogany's dope. She's dope.
She was singing a Whitney Houston song. And I was like, wow, I was blown away. I didn't know that she could sing like that. So, and I do hope that she does pick it up and never loses her voice, With me, I think I'm tone deaf and I can't stay on one note. I don't know how to start the note and I don't know how to end the note. But I like it because it's fun and I like to be at places where people don't judge you. Because you can't sing. I went to Detroit one time and went to a karaoke club, a place there, and they take karaoke seriously. Man, them black folks had Motown in the building, Erykah Badu. I'm not talking about the stars themselves. I'm just talking about the way they were singing. They were doing routines and steps, in groups. And I'm just like the Delphonics or the Whisper. They were serious. Do you think I got up there to sing? I'm not going to get up there. They'll never boo me. They'll never boo me up and say, who is she? Get her out of here. Because some people take their karaoke seriously.
Yeah, some do. And then some are actually just, like me, just go have fun with it. I can't sing neither.
Yes, you can. You always say that.
No, because there are certain songs you have to pick the right song. You see, it's a perception. It's all an illusion. So if you can trick somebody, you can beat them, right?
Yeah.
So if I sing like here boy, if I sing like a Barry White song and I have to disguise my voice like Barry White, I'm good at sounding like certain people. That's not singing. That's just me copying a voice. Keith Sweat's not an amazing singer, right? But in certain songs that he sing where I can disguise my voice like his, and you'll think I can sing because I'm singing that song good. Now, if you make me sing something else, it might not sound as well because I can't disguise my voice to do that. But I've learned certain songs that I can sing. And like one of the favorite songs that I do sing is "Roses" by Outkast. When he's like Caroline, that's not really singing, but I can do that, right? And if I sound just like what the song sounds like, then that means I'm doing something right.
So if you can imitate a voice, basically, you can do well in karaoke, as to get that crowd cheering or get that clap after it. My throat
Correct.
always hurt after I sing, and that I've been told it's because I'm singing from my throat and not from my stomach. That's what I've been told.
It's some technical things that go along with it. I'm not a singer,
okay.
So I don't know the technicalities of singing. I'm a rapper. I can rap real well, but I can't sing. So like I said, as long as I can trick the crowd into believing I can, just because I'm performing the song properly or sounding just like the artist that sings the song, then that's a good illusion that I'll continue to run with.
Yeah.
As long as I have the opportunity to do so.
Well,
I won't sing nothing that I can't because I'm not going to embarrass myself.
Okay.
So
Well,
it's about finding your range and finding what works for your voice.
Okay. Well, I've embarrassed myself. It's only a couple of songs that I know I could sing. Like I would do Valerie or Lisa Cult Jam or something like that. That I know that I do know somewhat of the words and feel comfortable enough to sing it. That I'll get up there and do it. But so before we go, I'm enjoying our conversation. So I want you to tell the people at the different places that you actually have karaoke at here in Hampton Roads.
Let's go. So I got a new Tuesday night that I'm getting ready to start. It's called Laura L's. That'll probably start Tuesday, Tuesday, November 25th. It's a place called Laura L's.
The day after Thanksgiving?
Well, that's going to be, that's the week of.
Oh, okay.
And we may even push it back to December because I think that's going to be we want the first week to be a week where people are going to be in town and available. So that week people might be kind of like scattered all around. So every Wednesday I'm at Picola's in Hampton. It's a very nice, very clean vibe, good energy spot, good food, professional service. And I'm there every Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Every Thursday I'm at Boss Queen Soul Cafe. And that's once again a very clean establishment, good vibe, very good food, great service. We've recently merged with like a step team, the Solo Steppers. Night Nurse is there every week, and she teaches a class from like 7:30 to 8:30, and she teaches a few of the dances that people might not know. It's been very successful since we started doing it. Then from 8:30 until we just kind of karaoke with some line dances in between, and kind of keep the vibe going, keep the energy high. Every Friday, I'm at LV's in Hampton from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then at 9 p.m., I'm at Los Compadres in Hampton from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. And then on Saturdays, I am at Victory Rivers Burger Bistro in Portsmouth, which is, also it's a cigar bar, cigar lounge, grown and sexy vibe. All of my spots are really nice. I've been really blessed to be able to get into some good establishments because I started at a place called Easy Inn, and man, that place was, oof, Lord. I was there for a long time, but people, it just got really hood, and once the
Yeah.
wrong people get to an establishment, it starts going downhill, shooting, stabbings, all kind of things. People
Yeah.
making babies on the dance floor, So, yeah, I can't say I was happy to walk away from Easy Inn because, like I said, it was my home. It was the first spot that really gave me like a residency. So,
Okay.
and I was there for 8 years.
Oh, wow.
You know,
And it
so
didn't improve?
not what got worse.
Oh my
It got worse.
gosh.
When I first got there, it was nothing. It was not saying it was nothing, but when I first got there, nobody was there, but maybe a few people, a few regulars or whatever that would come every day. And then I brought my cousin in with me, MK1. He brought his crowd, and from his crowd, I started building my karaoke base as well as him bringing his crowd. So now I was there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday every week, 3 nights a week.
All right.
So karaoke for Thursday, party night Friday and Saturday, and then people that were coming on Friday and Saturday had started coming to karaoke, and vice versa. So we kind of built the crowd, and now all of a sudden, everybody's there every week from Thursday to Saturday. So me and my cousin kind of built that place and made it what it is. I just felt like at some point in time, the wrong crowd. I think it was after COVID. COVID happened and things closed for a little bit.
Yeah.
A lot of people got that PUA money and they started coming back outside.
Yeah.
So that's when I feel like the hood they were back outside, man, and they started coming, and people in there smoking weed now. And,
Wow.
they called me back in around that time to come back and DJ after the world opened back up. For being shut down, and then when I got there, it was like a different crowd.
Yeah.
Just like so. Some of my crowd came back, and some of them didn't. But then it just mixing with it just wouldn't. It didn't work out anymore.
It didn't work.
I wanted some things to change. They didn't want to make those changes, so I had to walk away from it.
Yes.
Yes. And took my people with me.
Yeah. And you have to feel comfortable in your space. I mean, you going out to do karaoke and to show people a good time. You're not going out to get killed. You're not going out there to get shot. You expect to come back home. I see a lot of different little places out here that they don't care. I mean, I think the owners get the money and they don't put the money back into the business. Because and they make good money. They make good money. They make money off of drinks. They make money off of food. People in there buying stuff. And the money is there. I just don't understand why you won't take the money and invest it back into yourself. That concept will never be... I'll never understand that. I'll never understand why people won't take the money and invest it back into something that's good and make it better. I don't. And I say that with a lot of my independent artists. They don't want to make an investment in themselves, but they want to be famous. They want their music heard. They want this and that, and they want that. But when you tell them, okay, this is going to cost X amount of dollars for me to do it, they don't want to give up the money. They expect you to just do this for them, and I find that in a lot of people and a lot of the club. I mean, the upscales, for a long time, when I would go, I wouldn't go every Thursday. I'd go maybe every 3 Thursdays or something like that, or every 4 Thursdays. But they had a really bad smell in the women's bathroom. It was like the sewage. You can smell the sewage. And that happened, that was going on for a very long time. It was going on for a very long time. You smelled that sewage. And I couldn't understand, because all of this money, the place is packed. I mean, food going, drinks going, and everything. And I just could not understand why you're not taking that money and investing it back to take care of this problem. Because it smelled so bad. I mean, you couldn't really sit towards the back, near the back bar, because it just smelled like sewage. And it made me not want to eat the food because you got the sewage smell. I just think that the club owners should really look into investing back in their own thing. I mean, you don't smell it now. So he finally fixed it, But for a long time, it just stayed like that, and it smelled so bad. It was really awful the way it smelled. But I'm going to we're going to go ahead and let you go. And do you have a place for karaoke in that on Sundays?
As of Sundays, not right now. I'm working on some things. I had a Sunday, but Sundays are really tough, especially in this day and age because of football.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm working on some things to bring some more shows out. I at one point in time I had a show every night of the week.
Yeah, that's what I thought you did.
Including 2 on Saturday. So I slowed down a little bit just because certain things not working out with certain people price wise, and it's a lot of things that go into making a show successful, and a lot of times your vision might not align with what a owner or operator is willing to pay for, or willing to sacrifice there. It's just some a lot of things have to go together to make it work. Work. Like any relationship.
Yes.
Both parties have to be happy. So
yes, for sure.
But thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem. No, I enjoy having you. I enjoy talking to you, because usually when we see each other, we're never in a spot where we could conversate. It's give each other a hug, and you go back to what you're doing and I go sit down, or something like that. It's never really an opportunity to sit and talk with you to see where your head is and what's going on with you. And I knew you had a lot of different things going on, so I definitely wanted to reach out and let my diamonds on all platforms know who you are and about you. So give us your contact information before you, and your social media names and all that good stuff where people can keep in contact with you.
Oh man, that's not my name. Let me see. It's okay. So yeah, I'm sitting here on dad duty.
Okay.
At least he waited to the end to blow up, right?
It's okay. Yeah, she did. She was good.
He was good all the way through. But he had to make his presence known too, right? So come here, let me see. On Facebook, it's just my name, Alito Melton. On Instagram, it's FGM.ENT. Let me see. All right. Okay. Let me see. It's okay. It's all right. Let me see.
It sound like he's purposely in the mic. Ah!
Yeah, he's trying to get on the interview too. So on Facebook, it's my name, Alito Melton, ALITO.
Alito Melton,
Or
ALITO.
you can search DJ S2757, and I have my DJ page.
Okay.
And then on Instagram, it's FGM.ENT.group. That's my Instagram, and I don't have a TikTok at the moment. I probably should, but I don't have one.
It's okay.
And Facebook is usually what I use primarily, man, and it's been working for me. I get a lot of bookings through Facebook.
Okay.
So yeah, just support the page. I am monetized on there, so all of my likes and comments, get me a little change. So,
yeah. Ching. No, nothing wrong with that.
All of that.
Nothing wrong with that. And we appreciate you being here and taking the time from your busy schedule and your dadhood, your dad sitter, to sit down and talk. He was good. It was good. I was just surprised. I was surprised. I knew we would get interrupted, but I didn't know when.
Yeah, you never know when.
You never know when, but we got through most of it, the most part. And I thank you for taking the time just to be with me and talk with me. This will be on YouTube, of course. You can hear the interview again, the recap, and I will send you the link once I go in and do some editing. It's not going to take much editing to do this. I love it when I don't have a lot of editing to do.
Oh, okay, cool.
So nothing was said, nothing was even out of place. I'm going to even let the baby cry in it.
Yeah,
That
give him
just
some shine.
that shows that you're real. That you're real. You're down to earth. You're a dad. You got a business. All that good stuff. So, well, I'm gonna let you go, and thank you again, DJ S2, for coming out and not coming out, but calling in to support LJDNRadio.com.
My pleasure. I appreciate it, and thank you so much. And we'll do it again.
All right, sounds good. All right then.
All right.
Bye bye.